Okay, I think it's working, so we'll go ahead and jump in. And where are we today? Hold on one second. Let's see if I can move something without crashing my video card. It appears that I can. Okay. Sun is, I'm not going to be on here too long today. Maybe half an hour at the most. I have more calls I got to do, but I did want to pop in here and just give you a forecast for the next couple of days. But as you can see, the sun is definitely in Sagittarius. I don't know where people are saying that it's at. I'm not sure if, or did I say Sagittarius? I've been talking a lot today, so about astrology. So my mouth is not cooperating. It's in Aquarius. Hopefully I said Aquarius. Still conjunct here with Mercury, but it's definitely pulling away a little bit. So that is going to, on the one hand, it's not terrible, but it's definitely going to put our cognition, our mind, our conscious mind, the logic and rational side of our brains. It's going to start giving that more power as time goes on here. And as we can see, let me pop this over here and let's take a look at these two moving in the next couple days. So today's the 17th of February. And as you can see, it's just going a little bit farther. We have that conjunction, perfect conjunction with Saturn on the 25th. That should be interesting. We'll definitely cover that later. And then it's going to start moving into Pisces. And right about here, right around second week in March, that separation between the sun, which is going to soften, it's going to make things very intuitive on the Mercury side. It's going to be the farthest away that we're really going to get it. And what that is going to do is make us, it's going to be a little bit harder to trust our intuition, at least it would in a normal circumstance. Now, the good news is that this happens while Mercury is in Pisces. So we're really not going to get too much of it. If this was happening or when this does happen in other parts of the sky, it definitely can make it harder. Okay. To just trust. But this Pisces energy is going to soften it up. So is Venus, the conjunction with Venus. Those work very well together. Guys, Venus is so, I don't know what it looks like where you're at. It's already nighttime here, obviously, if you can't tell out the window. But Venus is absolutely gorgeous in the sky. Just big and bright and beautiful and amazing. So hopefully the other astrologers you listen to and talk to, they actually go out and look at the sky. It's interesting. You should ask them, see if that's something that they do. Hopefully it is. Hopefully they can recognize a constellation. That'd be cool too. But anyways, where are we? Today we are on the 17th. Okay, so we have this while Mercury is in here. Okay, if you do these things for your career, fantastic. If not, try them as a hobby. Okay, now what I'm saying here is Enki or Aquarius I definitely went into detail about the meaning of Aquarius as being Enki. Yes, technically one of the Anunnaki, but go check that video out if you haven't already seen it. And while he's in here, this is the god of wisdom and magic and knowledge and all of the crafts, all of the divine powers, gifts of civilization, all the cool stuff that separates us from the other creatures on the planet. He's all wrapped up in here, and he is all innovation and teaching and just general, awesomeness. Okay. So with Mercury here, and technically the sun too, but definitely Mercury is going to intensify some of this. If you have a career in writing or creativity, media, if you teach, you do anything with networking, even have a technical career, all of these things are favored right now. And it allows your brain to kind of take you to new depths of understanding. So if you are waiting for a time to maybe learn some ancient astrology, which you can definitely do, you can get that information right on my website, SumerianAstrology.com. You can download my 15-hour video course. Technically, don't download the videos. They're just private YouTube links, but you can download the other stuff like all the PDFs and whatnot that come with it. This would be a great time to do that. Or any other course or something that you have been waiting to learn. Like if you want to go down the rabbit hole and really start learning about, something, this is the time to do it while Mercury is swinging through here. And we're going to get that for the next couple of weeks. Technically, again, as we go into Pisces here with it, you can still do these things. You can still get these benefits. The fish of Pisces were still related to Enki. Fish were his sacred animals, as were some of these waterfowl that were also associated earlier with particularly this fish of Pisces. So, where was I going with that? Hi, anybody who's joining me. Thank you so much. Yes, I was very late today. I apologize. Let me see what else. So when we get this conjunction with Saturn, Saturn's very much a societal planet, especially when we're looking at some sort of blanket forecast for all 8 billion people on the planet, which is what we're looking at with this chart right now. But again, if you have a career in one of these fields, if you do something, you work with the public, because I mean, Saturn right now is right here between this fish of Pisces and Aquarius. If you work with the public, you do any type of anything charitable, you're out there, you're serving humanity or animals or nature, but you're in a service-oriented career path. Or you are in a tech space, communication, media, knowledge, wisdom, academia, any of those areas. On this date and right around a couple days before and after is when it's going to be the most intense. This is like epiphany. This is having your mind blown. Okay. So if you got to take some tests or something during this time, you're going to be like, this is the day to do it. Okay. You have everything working in your favor. But again, if you're waiting on a date or a time period to like go down the rabbit hole and really dig in and learn something, this is your time. Okay. Take advantage of these energies. This is what they were here for. This is the whole purpose. So I can't speak to any other tradition. I have a limited area of expertise, but I can tell you that in Mesopotamia, they believed that the planets were the embodiments of the gods, and the constellations were signs. Their placement in the heavens was meant to give us information so we can understand ourselves, so we can predict the future, so we can take advantage of all of these cool cosmic energies. All right. They were very much aware, even though their language, their vocabulary maybe wasn't in total alignment with ours. They knew what was going on up here. Okay. And they understood the concept of like taking advantage and astrological, magic, assessment, prediction. That was a major part of their culture. Okay. So they were on top of this, and they were crushing it for like 2,000 to 4,000 years, depending on who you talk to, possibly since the end of the last ice age. And again, this goes way back before anything related to, Greece or Vedic astrology. I have some people periodically bring up Vedic astrology and, Jyotish, and love to all my Vedic astrologers. If you guys are out there and you're making predictions and they're coming true, you're accurately assessing people's character. Fantastic. Good on you. But just so you know, if you're watching this, there's no such thing as Vedic astrology. Okay. Nowhere in the Vedic scriptures do they do astrology. Okay. Now they do have the nakshatra system. But lunar mansions, technically, we had something similar in Mesopotamia. So that in itself is not unique to Jyotish, but it wasn't meant for prediction, you guys. Okay. The nakshatra system in Vedic astrology, which again is a misnomer, it was just used as like a timekeeping device. Okay. It wasn't there to do anything astrologically. So what happened was, via the trade routes from Mesopotamia and Greece, okay, astrological knowledge got transmitted over to India. And it was cool. Obviously, it was awesome. So they're like, yeah, let's do some of this. And that's why the constellations are all the same as they are in Greece, which came from Babylon. That's why a lot of the associations are the same, the whole element modality system. Planetary rulership comes straight from Greece. Okay. Now, in Vedic astrology, they are wise enough to use the literal placement of the planets in the constellations. So good on them. And that's why I think Vedic astrology is much more accurate than your classical astrology, but that's what it has been in my assessment. Kind of derailing. What were we talking about before this? Oh, just Vedic astrology it's not a real thing. I mean, it is a thing, but Jyotish is it's not really Vedic, okay, if we're being technical. And it's not really Indian astrology. It's very classical. Okay. So back to the 17th here. What are we doing? 17. Yes, that is today. Venus still over here with, I believe Neptune's right in the same place in the sky. Let's check. If you don't know, this planet or this program is called Stellarium. You can download it for free at stellarium.org. And I highly recommend that you do. You can see all of this cool stuff that I'm showing you, and you can show all of your astrology friends that their sun, that their constellation that they think the sun is in at the time they were born is not actually where they thought it was. So hopefully you didn't get the wrong tattoo. While Neptune is between here, Neptune, in my experience, is very similar, behaves almost exactly the way that Neptune does, or excuse me, not Neptune. Again, I've been talking astrology for a really long time. My mouth is not cooperating with me. With Enki or Aquarius, okay? Very similar. So it's all about communication, innovation, teaching, technology, cool stuff like that. Here in Aquarius, or excuse me, in Pisces, and it's going to be in here for a long time. How long? Let's take a look. We're going to go to, we're getting our retrograde, it looks like, and then we're moving forward into what's happening, 2000. Okay. Somebody, Nikki showed me a post that somebody had made, and it was basically like, somebody wrote this article about how this year we're going to see the end of the last conjunction with the sun and Neptune in Pisces. Yeah, you guys, Neptune's going to be in Pisces for a really long time. Okay. We're talking like 2004 or 2040. That's what we're talking about. Yes. Maybe, well, yeah, we're going to say 2040. That's a really long time. Okay. This is going to be going on. Now, I have my opinions about what this is going to do for us. I see this as bridging the gap, okay, or maybe integrating the spiritual side with technology, okay? And what I mean by that is up until this point, over the last, oh goodness, how long? Let me see. It really, I'm biased because it seemed like it started in the 90s to me. But sometimes we have some overlap when, these things really start to affect society overall. But back in, we're going to call this like 91. Hold on. I mean, technically computers were already, around. They've been working on the internet for at least since the 50s. Who knows before that? I mean, computers have been around. They were around in World War II. The Nazis had a whole thing of like cataloging people. They worked with IBM. It was a whole thing. Okay. It's a rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But as we see into the 90s, we have Neptune in Sagittarius. Now, like this technology, the technology planet Neptune, I promise you it is, you guys. I promise I can demonstrate it in pretty much every single chart. It really comes to the forefront. People are handling it. It's becomes like a household thing. Now we're affecting people on like a, like it becomes a part of our culture in a much deeper way. We're putting a lot of time and energy and passion into it as it transits through Tashmetu, the grantor of requests, the divine doctress over here, very different from the modern meanings of Capricorn. And then as it gets into Aquarius between, we're going to say, I mean, technically the side of Capricorn we're already working in there. 2003, which is kind of, isn't that right around when like Google came online? I believe so. YouTube somewhere around this area, 2010-ish. I'm terrible with dates, you guys. You're going to have to forgive me. But as it goes in through 2018, we're already 2019. We're starting to get this shift. Now, this was the big one. This was right around the pandemic, right? Things already start to shift at that point where now we are using technology in a way that bridges our deeper personal and spiritual lives. And this happened by necessity, essentially, because we were forced to do everything online at that point. I was already doing things online, so it wasn't that weird for me. I was already working virtually, but for a lot of people, this was a major, major shift in how they were using technology. We're going to see another shift like that over the next 20 years. Yeah, okay, we'll say 15, 20 years. Okay. Roundabout. I consider sometimes, depending on what's going on, I think this fish of Pisces, I kind of overlap it with Aries, but it's a different conversation. We'll definitely have that conversation later. So anyways, going back to right now, what's going to happen, if I can make this prediction now, is that people are going to stop. Our reliance on technology is not necessarily going to end, but the emotional reliance we have on technology is going to experience that shift. People are, the novelty, so to speak, has maybe worn off a little bit, and people are starting to pull away more from social media. They're not, and this isn't just on the internet, people are not watching TV as much anymore. They're being much more, I don't want to say careful, they're being more selective about where they put their energy into communication and technology. People are making more of a concerted effort to interact with other human beings on a deeper level. And this is something that's going to continue. Now, I suspect we actually had this conversation, I think yesterday on the meditation call, which we don't meditate on that call, you guys. We just talk about meditation and usually how bad we suck at it. But also we talk about other things. And yesterday we talked about this. I suspect this, the AI revolution, possibly also, with quantum computing, these things are going to combine, and they're going to take over the next 15, 20 years. They're going to take a lot of the, I said 15, 20, it's like 10 to 15, you guys, math. I can do math sometimes. It's going to take a lot of the pressure and workload off of people, which is going to free us up to reconnect to nature and generally reconnecting to humanity. And we can start focusing on some of these areas that are associated with these fish of Pisces. This was all love and bounty and spirituality. It was giving. It was being a part of the natural world and being a good person in society, like focusing on the humanities and nature and all of those wonderful things. Okay. So I see more of that as Neptune transits through here. So going back to today, which I believe is right. No, that's not today. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Neptune's right here, obviously between Saturn, which is our societal planet. Okay. And also Venus. Now, Venus is working her way back and forth over here, but for the most part, she's, making her way this way. And but while this is right between, this is a great time to make peace, to make some deals, to forge some good, positive relationships with other people, both in your professional and personal life. Okay. This is anytime, I don't care what anybody says. Okay. All those negative traits associated with Pisces are based on nothing. It's made up nonsense, you guys. It doesn't pan out. Okay. All that crazy negative destruction, addiction, like all that stuff to do with Pisces, it's not there. It might be there in like 1 or 2 charts, but if you have 1,000 people, I'm telling you, it's like statistically not going to show up. Pisces is love and nurturing and good stuff. Now, one of the things that we don't talk about very often, if you can see it up here, hold on, let me see, pull out. Okay, so this square of Pisces was the Abzu. He was in, so like in the Enuma Elish, he was the masculine primordial father god. And he and his consort Tiamat, who is likely featured down here, they coalesced to create the first race of deities, who were the constellations, the stars, and the whatever, the planets, whatever, celestial bodies. He is killed in the story, and he is likely featured right up here based on the information that we have up in the square of Pegasus, which was called the Field, also related to the Abzu, which his name was Abzu, and this was basically him. Very similar to Enki in that he is related to knowledge and wisdom and innovation and basically all magic and all the cool stuff. Okay. So while Neptune's here, we're having epiphanies. Okay. We're having tech leaps forward. But also with Venus in this area, we get some of that stuff too, but this is going to be on like the deeper emotional level. Hopefully you're meditating out there. Hopefully you are sharing love and, you're building some relationships. I think it's a good thing as Saturn starts to swing in here too, because again, this is it doesn't move obviously quite as slow as Neptune, but it still moves relatively slowly. But this is going to help us bridge this gap between technology and the humanities and hopefully finding some peace. I think that this is very positive. I think we're averting, World War III. I mean, we could make the case that we're already kind of sort of already in it. But I mean, as far as like mass global destruction, I hope and pray, but also it looks really good in this chart that we're going to avert some of those things. So, yeah, I was only supposed to do the forecast for the next couple of days, and here I am rambling about like the next 30 years or something. Okay, so back to today. What else is going on? Where is my moon? Moon, where are you? Jupiter still up here looking amazing. We can see it out in the sky. You guys go out and look, okay? Go out and connect to the planets and see that Jupiter is now starting to observably make its way direct again. Mars still right here in the middle of Castor and Pollux. Okay, so today is the day, you guys. The moon is conjunct with Spica. So as it's waning, we can take advantage of this energy, and we can take advantage of the connection with Spica. This is going to give us an opportunity to clean out our physical bodies, our homes, our like stupid expenses that you have that you don't need. Like, this is the time, the health and wealth energy, to purge. Okay, get rid of stuff. If you haven't already, if you've already broken a fast, there's not a lot you can do at this point. Like, this is a good time to fast. It's a great time to exercise, to, like, if you were waiting on a day to start a detox regimen or like a diet where you're cleaning out your system, this is definitely the day to do it. If you weren't aware of this, do it tomorrow. You're still going to get some of these energies in here in this part of the constellation. So as the moon starts to make its way into Libra tomorrow, Libra is, these were the claws of the scorpion, okay? And they were tools of the scorpion's survival for many different ways. Now, in human society, other people are our tools of survival, not to objectify them or anything, but just we are herd creatures and we need other people. And that's why if you put someone in isolation, it's very damaging to them psychologically. Their immune system starts to shut down. All kinds of weird stuff starts happening to them. We need other people. Rats are like that too. If you don't have pet rats, you don't know. Rats will basically die if you just have one. You got to have more than one. So anyways, this makes this a very social planet. Now, this is not, yes, it can be superficially social, but this is not just going out and being social for social sake. I don't think that was grammatically correct, but this is more being social out of necessity, out of survival. If you run your own business, okay, this is probably the most entrepreneurial portion of the sky. This is always a great time when the moon starts to move through Libra. Now it is waning, so again, get rid of some silly expenses. If you need to cut some ties with people personally or professionally, probably a good time to make this happen over the next couple of days. We're going to get this through the 19th, and technically we can get a lot of it through the 20th too. You're going to have this, all of this going on. So sometimes it's good to, let people and stuff like that go. You just got to do that. Okay. What else was I going to tell you? Yes. Financial decisions. Okay. A lot of the Babylonian omens related to Libra, related to the marketplace and finances. Okay. Now, again, this is probably not the best time to invest and like put money into something with the moon waning. But if you're looking at some of your stocks or your crypto assets or whatever, and you've been wondering like, when's a good time to sell? Maybe, this could be the time. I do have Bitcoin's natal chart, I guess we could call it. If anybody's interested in that in the future, like, let me know and I can try to make some predictions. I do use it periodically to make my decisions. Bitcoin's pretty much the only like crypto that I work with or do anything with. I use it all the time. So that's probably why I'm like not emotionally invested, but definitely, just invested in it in general. But if there's something like that you guys are interested in, you just got to let me know. Okay, so let me jump to a different chart real quick, and hopefully I don't crash. If I disappear on you for like 1 minute, don't panic. I will be right back. Sometimes pulling these charts up makes my StreamYard crash for whatever reason. All right, and then I'm going to share this window real quick. All right, what else do we got here? We are on the 17th, and I definitely have two of these, so I don't get confused. What we got here? Yeah, I'm going to pull this out. So this program that I use is called Janus. And at the time I got it, and I went through like all of the big ones at the time. This was one of the only ones that had the option to, hold on a second, have a sidereal chart that wasn't Vedic, and like it was a wheel chart. Like, I can't do the Vedic charts. My eyes immediately want to bleed as soon as I look at that stuff. So, but this is the one I use. It's great. It's about, I want to say it's like $300, you guys. You can do the free 30-day trial on it. It's great. Just, look into it, check it out. It's really cool. It has all the functionality you would ever need. I'm not getting like a, like a sponsorship. I've asked them, like I tell them, you guys doing like an affiliate program? Because I send everybody to you. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. So I guess they're making bank and they don't want to share. Okay, what are we doing? 17th, that's where we're at. Okay, so as we can see, and we kind of had this the other day, technically we could say the sun and Ceres are still conjunct. This is going to bring out that energy of the tribe and the community. We do have the trine with the galactic center, which I like to call this kind of like the macrocosmic representation of the crown chakra. All right. So like where we connect energetically, spiritually to the source. So what happens when you have these aspects to the galactic center, they pull out intuition. Okay. So this is going to allow us to read people in the environment, our friends or coworkers, whoever it is that we're dealing with. It's going to allow us to read them a little bit better because intuitively we're tuning in. We probably, even though they're not quite conjunct, or excuse me, not conjunct, well, technically, they're not quite sextile here with Mercury and the galactic center. We're still probably having some pretty weird dreams, okay? Now, they're weird in a way that should be useful. It should not just be nonsense, although there will be a lot of what seems like nonsense in there, and that's perfectly fine. That's just kind of par for the course. But just don't be surprised if you're having weird dreams. I didn't mention it, but as Mercury moves into Pisces, weird dreams are going to happen anyways. This is just, it's on the agenda. There's nothing we can do about it. Enjoy. We talked a little bit about that. Yes. Uranus right here. I'm not going to go into all of it right now. We'll talk about that a different day because it's moving very slowly and we have time. I think this is a positive just in general, but I don't see all the negativity associated with Uranus. We'll talk about that a different day. So like, share, subscribe, and make sure that, you pop back on and check later on to see when we made that video, because it's definitely interesting and you'll want to hear about it. As we go to the 18th, which is tomorrow, at least part of the day, we get this trine with Mercury and the moon. Now the moon is, as far as prediction is concerned, we don't want to look at, what we do with the moon is we look at it as a trigger that's going through and lighting everything up. It is the nighttime. It was the celestial shepherd. Okay. So it was the ruler and the guide and the master of the stars in the night sky, even though, yes, you can see the moon in the daytime, no matter what TikTok tells you. The moon, pretty closely conjunct, at least at the time of this, that I have this up, but it's going to be tomorrow anyways. It's already like well within this whole range with Vesta. I have found Vesta to be a minor health and wealth planet similar to Saturn. So this is great for anything to do with the body. Again, diets, exercise. If you were waiting on trying to get rid of some nasty stuff in your system, like take advantage of it. This is the time to do it. Also, you can use this financially too. But while this is happening, it's tuning your intuition in. Again, buying, selling in the marketplace. Tomorrow, well, is this the 18th? Yes, 18th. 18th and maybe even a little bit on the 19th, we're going to get some of this energy. So take a good look at your finances, okay, tomorrow or during this period. If you haven't already, like take a look at it. See if there's anything that you can fine tune, because you're more likely to get these positive benefits out of here at this time. We go to the 17th, 18th, and then after 18 comes 19. Yes, that's right. So we still have this conjunction. It's arguably a little bit closer, but now we have it here with Saturn. Now this is especially favorable for your finances as they relate to the career, to your generating wealth. So again, the next couple days, maybe put a little bit more attention into the financial side. Now, if you have a career related to the finance industry or maybe a health or wealth field, this benefits you immensely. So what you want to do with that, I mean, it might just end up having a great day. It's hard to say exactly. What else do I 19th, 20? That's the last one that we're doing. So then on the 20th, we do have the square between Mercury and Jupiter. Now, squares are not bad. Squares, I like to equate squares to going to the gym. Going to the gym is stressful for a lot of people. It's hard. It's so hard that most people don't do it. I say going to the gym, like working out, doing some physical activity, whatever. But if you go to the gym, it is stressful on your body. That's what gives you the response, the positive response that you get. You build up, you adapt to it. Your muscles adapt, your immune system responds, and you get an immediate benefit from it, and you get long-term benefits too. So these are challenges, yes, but when you face the challenge, you end up getting positive results from it. Okay, so there's nothing blocking in here. It's just a little tricky. It's a speed bump, and it's calling on you to grow, okay, to force yourself to grow, and it's maybe a little bit uncomfortable in the process. So with Jupiter, this can be a few different things. It could be travel, it could be romantic relationships, it could be your own authority and power. Sometimes it is expression of lower emotions. It could be rage and anger and bad stuff like that. It is possible. It could also be lots of fun. It could be adventure. We have a lot of places we can go with Jupiter. Now on this side, we have Mercury, which is listening, learning, knowledge, wisdom, and basically taking in information. Okay. This kind of reads like a potential for miscommunications, for emotional outbursts in potentially relationships, romantic relationships. It could be hangups in like travel plans, but it should be overall minor stuff. Okay. It's nothing big. It's not going to last super long or anything. So you don't have to worry about it, but it's in here and I'm saying it. So I'm telling you about it. Okay. That's probably good for today. I got another call, so I got to go do that. But I will be back. We'll be back Wednesday, me and Nikki, and we're going to be on with the Tommy Westland from the Swedish Alchemical Society or Academy. Academy. I'm bad with names, you guys, as I've said many, many times. So definitely pop on for that. Very excited. And after that, I think I'll be on again Thursday. I'll buy my onesies and I'll give you a forecast for the next handful of days. And we'll go from there. All right. Well, Salima, take very good care of yourselves out there. And I'll see you next time.